Okay, everybody, let's take it from the top.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hi-ho, everybody, and welcome back to D Plus Us, the show about all things Disney. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin Tennell, Griffin D-Pad, and with me as always, the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Mitch George. How are you doing tonight?
Tired, over-caffeinated, and not looking forward to talking about this movie.
I am so excited to talk about this movie with you, Mitch. Mostly because I know we have very differing opinions on it, and that's what really makes for the best episodes. It's no fun when we agree on everything all the time.
Never. I'll disagree with you on everything from here on out if you want. Andor, trash. Jojo Rabbit, I don't know how you feel about Jojo Rabbit, but we're not talking about either of those things today.
Jojo Rabbit we'll talk about eventually. We talk about it enough times.
Jojo Rabbit, Office Space, and Idiocracy. We have to hit the trifecta of This World is Going to Hell.
Yeah, we will get to those, but we have a lot to get through first. First, we got to talk about Moana 2 as part of our, hey, guess what, we're catching up on shit part of the show. In case you didn't know.
No, this is the Mitch had a kid and didn't go to the movies for 6 months part of the show.
Yeah, we're catching up on shit. Moana 2, though, is a very special movie within that category of shit.
Is it?
Because it happened, it was the first it was the episode we were supposed to record right before you had your kid.
When did this movie come out? You're gonna give me the whole rigmarole. Get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. This movie, for what it's worth, this movie came out in November.
Well, yeah, I knew that much, but
November
do your
21st.
thing.
Or 27th, sorry. But yeah, so this is like...
Yeah, that tracks.
This is the very beginning of this period of time of which we just missed everything. And we are catching up on things. So thank you for bearing with us, folks. A little bit of rigmarole before we jump into...
I mean, you say everything. It was like this and Mufasa. Wasn't that it?
Yeah, that was pretty much everything.
So we're catching up on 2 movies that should have been an email. Got it.
Caught up on those 2. Well, there was a show we missed, too.
Spider-Man.
Which we are caught up on now. Anyways, rigmarole. First off, hey, what's up? Thanks for listening. Did you know we do a weekly series as well? We recently wrapped up a weekly series on Daredevil, Born Again? Yeah, Daredevil, Born Again.
That's the name of the show, yeah.
I totally mind blanked for a second there. It was a great show and a fantastic series on our part. You should go watch it. You should also watch our new weekly series that we will eventually be doing once we finally watch all of the episodes of Andor. It's really hard when they drop 3 episodes a week.
3 of them at a time. There are 3 episodes. I don't have 3 hours to watch TV, Griffin. I barely have time to do this.
I haven't watched any of the episodes yet. I'm very excited to sit down and watch them.
I sat down, watched the recap of season 1, and fell asleep. So that shows you the mental state that I'm in.
Go check that out.
Oh, we'll get there.
We have some couple very fun episodes coming up here soon. One that I will be surprising Mitch with. Mitch does not know one of the things I have planned. And he will not know until we record.
The other one is Thunderbolts, right?
And the other one is Thunderbolts.
Okay, cool.
I literally got my ticket like when we were hanging out chatting earlier.
I gotta look to see. So with Thunderbolts is a weird one where we want to go, but we want to go to the theater that has the full recliners. And like the 19+ theater chain here has some theaters that are full recliners and some that are just like big cushiony seats. But the full recliners usually don't go on sale until the Wednesday of that week. Like they're not part of the advance tickets. So it's one of those things of I'm going to be cutting it close. If we can't get those, then I'll probably just sneak out, see it myself. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, let me know. I'm very excited. This is such a little thing, but very much an us thing of now that I've moved, I now live in a city with a Dolby theater. So I can actually see shit. It's nice.
But is that the AMC at Disney Springs?
It is the AMC at Disney Springs.
God damn
it. Oh, yeah. So I will be seeing it.
Are you seeing it on the Thursday?
I am, yeah.
Okay. I will try for the same, but I don't know when I'll make time to record that weekend, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, same.
We shall see.
No. Well, because that's like, what, next week?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a week from now, Griffin.
Yeah. We're definitely not recording that weekend. I'm busy that weekend with the other thing that I'm going to surprise you with.
Oh, God damn it.
Anyways, folks.
I know exactly what it is now. Not happy.
I can't wait for that episode.
I can. Do we have to?
Yes.
Damn it.
Anyways, folks, we're here today to talk about Moana 2, directed by David Derrick Jr. You may not know that name, and that is not surprising given that this was David Derrick Jr.'s directorial debut. Previously was a story artist on many a movie, including Strange World, Encanto, Raya the Last Dragon, The Lion King, Moana, and some other fantastic movies from the folks over at DreamWorks, including Rise of the Guardians, Megamind, and How to Train Your... You can always bring up the Owls of Ga'Hoole. No one cared about that movie.
It's the same movie.
It is not. Do not besmirch Rise of the Guardians and that era of Tumblr in this way. I will put internet Tumblr people after you. Do you want that?
Not particularly, no.
Anyways, How to Train Your Dragon. I was trying to get to How to Train Your Dragon and also B-Movie. The dude's been working in animation for a while. Starring, of course, Ali Carvalho and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Runtime of 100 minutes. Very short movie. Thank God. Budget of $150 million. Making Mitch $1.06 billion. That's right, folks. Billion with a B. Releasing in the United States on November 27th, 2024. This is a little bit of a strange movie. If you didn't know, this movie was originally announced back in 2024 as a miniseries for Disney Plus, announced alongside two other series, one of which we got and one of which got canceled.
Indefinitely delayed.
Canceled. We did end up getting the Zootopia series, which was a series of shorts of a bunch of different stories around Zootopia that was actually really adorable. And then the Tiana series is the one that got, quote-unquote, indefinitely delayed. I hate that term.
Yeah, me too.
It's like that family at school that got asked to leave. Nah, they got kicked out. Mitch, you and I have differing opinions on this movie.
We do.
I think that this is a fine movie. I don't think that this is a fantastic movie. But I still think I had a fun time in those 100 minutes. What was your thought process when you had to sit down and watch this movie?
My current thought process is I'm trying to pre-order a Switch 2, so give me 2 seconds.
Don't you have like 2 hours until that happens?
Not when they go up at Costco at 10:12 in the evening, and I just got my pre-order.
Oh, shit! Nice.
So I put it on the wrong credit card because I didn't want to have to go find the right one, so Carmen's going to kill me, but that's fine. I'll figure that out later.
Well, it was nice that Moana 2 was your last episode.
Yeah, exactly. What was the question?
What do you think of this movie?
It should have been a show.
I agree with that.
Still feels very much like a show. It does feel, for me, as a child of the 90s, it feels like the straight-to-DVD sequels we got for films like Aladdin, Hunchback of Notre Dame, the 2 sequels we got to Cinderella, Little Mermaid 2. It doesn't feel like a movie that had to be made. It doesn't feel like, for me, these characters grew in a way that I needed them to justify this experience, this journey with them through this. Maui kind of just feels like he's thrown in halfway through because they wanted to pay Dwayne Johnson a bunch of money. It doesn't feel good.
So I agree with some of it, except for that last part. I do think that this does feel like a straight-to-DVD sequel, and I like that about it. I frankly kind of miss that era of movies, of here's this kind of additional little thing. And we get that sometimes now with streaming. But this art of direct sequel is not really a thing anymore. I do think that there's still a little bit of character growth here. Not nearly as much. There's no character growth for Maui in this. But I don't think there needs to be. I think Moana has a ton of character growth in this movie. Especially with us having to directly see her being a leader in this. Stuff moves at a very weird pace throughout the movie. And there you can still very much see where, oh, there was the end of that episode. And here's the end of this episode. And whatnot. But I still think the additions that they've made to this world of the Moana series at this point were very fun. I liked all of the stuff we added with the gods. I really enjoyed, actually, the scene with, oh god, why am I not remembering her name? Matangi.
Spider Lady thing?
Bat Lady.
See, I think there's a lot there, and I do feel like what we got was limited because of the delivery medium. They wanted this to be a billion-dollar box office film, which it was. It was very successful. I'm glad Disney made bank so they can go and make some more, hopefully make some decisions to release some more riskier projects.
Oh yeah, well they're
based on the money this
another
made.
they're going to make another Moana. We know that much. If you
1,000%.
you put
Same
out
way
a
they're making a
sequel,
Frozen 3.
Yeah, you put out a sequel that,
That-
grosses over $1 billion. That's getting another movie. Easy.
That's why we're getting Toy Story 5. But for me, a lot of what they like, we get a lot of breadcrumbs of interesting story beats here, but that's all that it is. Like, we get a fun song with the weird bat lady. I don't know why I said, what did I say earlier?
It's a
Snake?
spider.
Whatever. Weird bat lady. Like, there is a character there that could develop. There is stories that could be told with that character, her history with Moana and the gods and all of this stuff. And we don't get that. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there's a lot
very
of
surface level for a lot of the new things being introduced. I think Moana,
is
to
my
your
big
point, does
issue
get a
with
lot
this
of
movie.
growth. But yeah.
Yeah, my big issue with this movie is that everything gets summed up in a song. You have your issues with the crew. One song later, those are all gone. You have, like we said, Bat Lady. One song later, she's gone. We have her freaking sister. The storyline that they should have stuck with and made a bigger deal throughout this entire movie. She's gone in, 15 minutes?
If that she's there, like, she's used to introduce Moana back into the story and then disappears.
Yeah. That said, she's still absolutely adorable, and I love her. I feel like this movie has a lot of great ideas that doesn't fully follow through with them. But even with that, I still think this is an enjoyable time. I think the overarching story to me, this whole idea of finding Motifatu and reconnecting the world, was perfect for what a series should have been. And while this isn't a series, this is a movie, it still works. Where I think this movie doesn't work is within the additional lore they're establishing to the world.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I think I'm in full agreement with you there. It does feel like I'm glad that this exists because there are kids that really love Moana and now they're getting more stories in that world. For me, growing up, all those DVD sequels or the straight to VHS sequels felt terrible. I will still to this day remember, and not for a good reason, that the first DVD I ever owned was The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, where we went to Walmart and bought a brand new DVD player because apparently we didn't want to buy the PS2, I think, was a DVD player, and that's why it was really successful.
I don't know.
But we bought... We didn't buy PS2 for some reason, so instead we bought the standalone DVD player to go into the living room, and it was that and the Hunchback of Notre Dame 2 from Walmart. I'll never forget it because it was a terrible film. But
my straight to DVD
on the other side of that coin,
Lion King 1.5, and that movie was excellent. And I was
going to say for every Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, there is an Aladdin: The Return of Jafar. Where I love, like, for me, growing up, Aladdin was the movie that I gravitated to the most. And to get Return of Jafar and King of Thieves.
I was going to say, Aladdin was bangers across the board.
But, like, those weren't good movies. But I really enjoyed them because that was a world that I really loved being in. And I can see Moana 2 being that movie for a new generation. So I'm not mad that this exists.
I remember King of Thieves being good.
You remember them being good. Go watch them now.
I'm adding Aladdin King of Thieves to our list.
Do it. They're not good, but they're fun and they're an interesting. Again, it feels like they could have done Aladdin the series, and instead they chose to do Aladdin: Return of Jafar, King of Thieves. They could have done Moana the series, and instead they did Moana 2.
Yeah, I do wish we had gotten this as a series. I do wish we'd get more series. There was a time, right, where like every movie had a series on Disney Channel. And that's how we got some of the best stuff from those, like
Hercules,
like Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch getting a resurgence this year. The Lilo and Stitch series was one of the best series on Disney Channel at the time. Like, We got that. We got Hercules. Aladdin had a series. Little Mermaid had a series. Tarzan had a series. And all of
It
these
was young
thoroughly
Tarzan,
enjoyed.
wasn't it?
I don't remember. I was too young for it.
Stop being a baby.
Literally impossible.
I mean, not a baby anymore.
Now you're just lashing out.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like all of these things got series, and they were made as series because that was what that story could be. And you'd have that story, and then you'd also have like your sequel stories. Aladdin being a perfect example, or Lilo and Stitch doing it so that they worked in tandem with each other, right? Like Stitch has a glitch, leads into the series, which then leads into Leroy and Stitch. Like I'm still baffled by, or actually I'm not even baffled. I'm disappointed by this decision to change this one in, but I also absolutely see why they did it. I'm gonna go a little bit tinfoil cap here for a second, but this movie was developed in, I believe this was Disney's Vancouver studio, with the animation industry in the U.S. really working to hammer home workers' rights at the moment. It makes sense that they would want to see if they can outsource to some of those studios elsewhere to really make these things cheaper. And it worked. That's very much scares me. I'm concerned to see how that interacts with the rest of the stuff, the rest of Disney's plans going forward. Like, okay, if this is easier to make money here, and also make something that frankly is a lesser quality. This movie is hampered by it being originally a TV series. And I think you can see that. You see it in little details in the animation, although the animation I think is beautiful still.
It's still very good, but it does have that. I don't want to call it jank because it wasn't janky, but it does have that. There is a sense you get from watching this that the animation it doesn't hit the same bar that the first film did.
Yeah,
Like,
the
there's
first
some
one, like
rougher edges
for its use with water and water dynamics and the technology that they had to build to make that movie. This movie, while they do have a very good story reason for it, largely takes the water stuff out of it.
Yeah, and I understand why they did that from a budgetary perspective, but at the same time, I wish like the ocean plays such an integral role in the first film to completely disregard it. And honestly, like the two most important side characters or minor characters or as the two most important characters in that first film, apart from Moana, feel lesser than in this movie than they did in the first.
I don't know. Hey, doing a real good job.
That being Maui and the ocean.
I stand. Hey, doing great work.
Sure.
Hey, that chicken's gonna be weird, and that chicken was weird in this movie, and that's all I needed from him.
That's fair, but
you got weird. You got weird chicken, and you got anxiety pig. Like, I was here for that. I will say the humor in this movie did work for me more often than not. Despite all of that,
the writing was good. The writing was good.
I still like that. I still love the crew that they put together.
I do, but I wish we got more about them. Like, again, this just goes back to the idea that everything feels undercooked other than Moana in this movie.
Yeah, I wish we had gotten more. I think we got more of others than we did with some. Like the historian,
the old guy.
The old guy we got like nothing about.
Yeah. Other than he doesn't like boats and likes plants.
He doesn't like boats. He likes plants. Although he does have one of the best lines in the entire movie to me.
Yes, he does.
Which is I forget what the name is of the coconuts, but he's yeah, I can speak that language now. Just out of the blue, no reasoning for it. It was just perfect. But like the fanfic guy, we got a lot for him, but we didn't get nearly as much for Loto, the engineer, who was frankly my favorite member of their crew.
And could have been a very good character given more time to develop on screen. But again, when you take this from being a television product or a series product with a longer runtime to being a feature film on a larger screen with more people in seats to buy tickets and popcorn and all these other things at Disney, like this movie feels like it was made to hit metrics as opposed to being made for creative purchases or purposes. And that is what's disappointing, I think, the most for me, where I don't love seeing a creative art form like film
Even more than that, for
being this blatant about it.
it feels edited to be that.
Yeah.
It's why I have issues with this. It's why I have issues like with, what was the other Disney movie that we talked about that had come out recently? Wish, was the one.
Yeah.
Where it's, oh no, you had an idea, and that idea was cool, but the corporate side of Disney had to step in. And
I mean,
they're going
look
to.
more
They're
recently.
going to.
We can look more recently at Win or Lose.
I think that's a bigger.
It's a much.
That is a much
it
bigger
is a
one.
much worse
This
problem.
is a situation of making money, and I'm trying to separate Win or Lose because Win or Lose is a significantly larger issue that deserves its own talking points.
That is a creative issue. That is not a marketing / monetary issue.
Yeah, Win or Lose was a political bowing down to the wrong fucking assholes.
We will unpack that bag.
Again, this is why I don't want to get into it because I will get angry.
Yep. Rightfully so.
Yeah, it's again. All of that said, though, I love the music in this. I love the writers that they had for this: Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear. Previously, they won a Grammy Award in 2022 for the unofficial Bridgerton musical, which I don't know if you listened to it. It's very good.
Nope.
It is very fun. And then
Where is that?
The unofficial Bridgerton musical.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen to it on like Spotify.
I don't have Spotify.
It's a concept album.
Apple Music gang, rise up.
It's probably on Apple Music too.
Oh, well, fine. I'm gonna go find out. Yeah.
It's a concept album. It's not an actual musical.
I didn't know that, Griffin, because I'm old. What's a concept album?
It's an album that came out that was just the music. They didn't just turn.
So it's an
it into a
album.
thing.
Why is it a concept album? It's an album. Like, you don't have to add a prefix to it.
But now concept albums are a thing. Like the fucking
But what does it mean?
Pink Floyd's The Wall is a concept album.
That's true, actually.
No, concept albums typically mean that they are associated to a single thing, whether that's theme, instruments.
Oh, good. It's only 38 minutes. I'm going to listen to that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's really fun. Probably not as fun if you don't like Bridgerton.
Do I look like a man that did not enjoy Bridgerton?
Mitch, I feel like you sometimes forget that we are white dudes.
Yes, but I'm a white dude married to a white woman.
Yeah, but people are going to just assume.
I'm wearing a pink shirt, Griffin.
So?
Yes, I enjoyed Bridgerton, okay? God damn.
Let me tell you about this dude in a pink shirt that I ran into at Disney. Absolute asshole. Not
It wasn't
even
me,
kidding.
was
It
it?
wasn't not you. It was not you. It was this family of absolute jerks that I ran into. Genuinely two of the worst parents I'd ever seen at the parks. Totally just left their kids in a stroller by themselves in the middle of the walkway at Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, you don't do that. You keep moving or you move to the side. Like
But
a
again,
courteous human
they
being.
left them there in the stroller alone.
Yeah, that's bad.
I was absolutely shocked. Bringing it back. I like this movie. This movie's fantastic. Or not fantastic. This movie's a very fun time. I think the music is fantastic.
I think the music is good. I don't think it's as memorable as the first film.
Yeah.
Gun to my head, I couldn't sing you any line from any of the songs in that movie right now.
See, I
Not
can do
one.
it for Get Lost.
I can't. Like, I watched this movie 2 weeks ago, and it went into my brain and immediately fell out.
That's fair. I also that one. Also the team song. I have those in my head. I really like Moana's song in this one.
I really like it. I just can't remember it.
I like the themes that we have in that one. That said, it is very much emulating How Far I'll Go. For better and worse. I think it's a great though does a great job of setting up the themes of this movie, of it being, nah, you got something to lose now, kid. Not only do you have to go find the thing now, but you also have to make it back. Mm-hmm. Which I think is a great sequel story to this. After that one, we've got What Could Be Better Than This, which is the theme song on the boat. Very fun, upbeat. Let's teach all how to be a team. It's, like I said, it resolves far too much in it too quickly, but I think it's a very fun song. After that, we have Get Lost, which is the Bat Lady song. Again, another fun song. A reminder to us that Moana has a lot to learn still about being a wayfinder. And also the teaching her really what the point of being able to sail is, which is to go wherever the hell you want.
Like, again, this is the thing that irks me about this movie, is the first movie ends of you are now discovering what it means to be a wayfinder. You know what wayfinders do? They explore. So you know how you can go through and talk about exploring new places and doing things? You make cars on the road, but you do it in the Moana universe. And it's just Moana's in this place in this episode, and this place in this. Like, it sets itself up so well for serial TV content that you could just it just bothers me that wasn't the path they went, and I feel like they will eventually. But the fact they didn't do it here, I think that would be the Moana show. Like, if they did do that.
Yeah, I think we're sticking to the Gods storyline, which once I realized that's what we were doing, I was like, okay, shift brain to that mode and go. After that, our next song is Can I Get a Chee-Hoo? We got the inevitable Dwayne Johnson song in this. We knew it was going to happen. Not nearly as good as the last one. Also, not nearly as much auto-tune in this one as the last one.
Which is why it isn't nearly as good.
I did appreciate, though, that they said, the memorable part of the last one was a rap. Let's just make most of it rap.
I mean, it was the easiest way to not mask the fact that he can't sing.
Yeah. It's still fun. I like
can't sing, can't show up for work at WrestleMania. Like, what does this dude even do?
Dude, his I forget what show he was on. I think it was Pat McAfee. But him
it was
saying,
probably McAfee.
Oh yeah, the reason that we did this the way we did was me and the Saudi Arabia government made me so upset.
It wasn't even that. Like, he was like, oh, the only reason I showed up in Toronto is because they were having issues with selling tickets. And to be fair, I was in the building, and he wasn't wrong, because there was not a lot of people in that building. It's a 50,000 person stadium, and it was maybe
it's almost like there's a lot of issues with the WWE right now.
There are, but shout out to Canadians. They played that American anthem before that show, and we booed the heck out of that anthem.
Good work.
So much so that Pat McAfee went on commentary and shit on Canadians.
I mean, are you surprised McAfee sucks?
No, I'm not surprised. I hate him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't hate him. Hate is a very strong word, but over time, with his involvement with the WWE, I went from, oh, this guy's fun, he's one of us, he's just having a good time, to, why is this drunk dude on TV yelling at me like I'm 70?
Yeah, see, he joined College Game Day, and that's when I started hating him.
That's fair. Eventually, he just invades a product you care about, and then
because he doesn't know anything about football. He was a kicker. Yes, that is true. That's all he knows.
Ball go far.
Bringing it back.
Yeah.
Can I Get Chee-Hoo? It's kind of the last big song in this. We got our reprises, though. We got a reprise of Beyond. And this movie ends with a reprise of We Know the Way. But ultimately, not a ton of music in this, which is another one of those points where you can tell that this was a show.
Yeah, but in that respect, because I would have wanted more music. I wanted more music from this. If we had gotten a show, if there hadn't been more music, I would have been even more disappointed in a show where every show should have had a musical interlude, because it's a goddamn musical. Mm-hmm. And if we're only getting 5 or 6 songs here, I imagine we wouldn't have gotten enough in the show to satisfy me as a viewer. But again, I'm a very specific kind of viewer for a musical.
So my theory is that we would have gotten one song an episode.
That was mine as well.
Because it was a mini series. It wasn't a full series.
That's true, actually.
That said, yeah, music is serviceable. Not the most amazing in the world. Uh, I do think it's good though.
There are more memorable songs from Wish than there are from this movie.
Yeah, well, Wish is also an underrated movie musical wise.
Definitely underrated music wise. Even Chris Pine's song, I actually vibe with. But from a quality level, in terms of my level of enjoyment that I got out of the film, I'd put them pretty close to one another, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like they're both fine. I would go back and watch it again, but not. I don't need to go back and watch it.
I want to do a video. I need to do a video essay about it at some point, but I want to go back to Wish and figure out where that movie went wrong. Because there's so much good stuff in that movie. It's just, I always equate this back to The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where it's the good stuff is good, but the bad stuff is just too bad.
Yeah.
We got some couple other fun little tidbits for y'all about this one before we like actually talk about the plot. Because yeah, that's a thing we do sometimes.
There's plot.
There's plot.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do.
Goddamn.
There is just some other fun things here for you. First off, is there are a few girls that dress like Moana and have like their pig, not Pua. They call him Bua, but they are voiced by
The Moana Bees.
yeah, the Moana Bees. They are voiced by the Rock's kids, which I think is cute. And we kind of got the big setup going forward here of Nalo in this mid-credit scene, which is why I'm like, absolutely, we are getting a third Moana movie. Setting up fighting the god Nalo and how that's going to affect. Again, keep forgetting her name. Matangi, and what's happening with the gods. It's such an interesting thing to me with this that I'm excited to see what happens. But we also did get a quick shot of Tamatoa in this movie, and it does need to be shouted out. Because he does make his way here. He does sing for about like 5 seconds.
Jermaine Clement is amazing, and I need him in more things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about the fact. Oh no, that was Matt Berry that was going to be in The Cat in the Hat.
It is funny to me as well, though, like he doesn't have any of his gold anymore because they destroyed that, so it's all like bones and shit.
He's just a crab.
Mm-hmm. Bringing us into the plot.
What is he? Now. Before we do that, what is Jermaine Clement going to be in next? He's got many upcoming projects. He was just in a Minecraft movie. I didn't know that. I forgot.
Oh, Megan.
He is in one of your favorite film series of all time.
Are we going to talk about Avatar again?
Yeah. I honestly don't care for those movies. So we don't have to talk about it, but we probably will.
I didn't realize, though, that he was in Megan, too, which I am absolutely here for.
Was he in the first one?
No,
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I didn't watch the first one because I don't like horror movies.
These are like, what if we made those campy 80s horror movies today?
Even then, I'm not about it.
Yeah, they're doing the Aliens thing where the second movie is going like full action movie. I'd love it. But yeah, let's talk plot. It's a very straightforward plot, but there's still plot nonetheless. Moana is heading out. Oh yeah, plot start now. If you haven't seen the movie, and we've been talking full spoilers the entire time.
Yeah.
I forget there's a rigmarole and like a pattern to this show that we generally try to follow in some regard. Anyways, Moana is out searching islands. We get her running around this random new island, looking for signs of life from other people. She gets to the top of these mountains, these islands, and blows her conch shell in the hopes of other people responding and her finding life. We get a fantastic bit multiple times throughout this movie of she blows the conch shell, hears nothing, thinks she hears something, and is just hey choking on a shell. Fantastic bit. Love this chicken. Shout out Alan Tudyk. As always. We get a quick moment at the beginning of this movie where Hey accidentally almost kills Moana by sending her off of a cliff, but they find like this broken pot that has a logo of an island on it that was not made by her family. So she brings it back and they talk about it, eventually realizing that this is imagery of the legendary island Motu'Fetu. As they're going through a ceremony to make Moana a tatai, a level higher than chief, kind of this position made as a connector between islands, this great voyager. Lightning strikes, and she gets a vision from the ancestors of Tatai Vasa from the first film, and explaining to her that the legendary island is Motu'Fetu, that is a connection of all the islands, and that she has to be the one to find it. We will learn a little bit more about that when we run into Maui later. But at the moment, Maui is in a secret, weird, spirit world-looking cave.
Pocket dimension with bats.
In a clam. That we learn. Turns out it's a prison. We'll get to it. It looks dope. It looks dark. It looks weird. And then he gets captured. Getting ready for the journey, Moana eventually realizes, thanks to her mom. Moana's sister's in this too.
Again, another character I would have loved to see more of, and we didn't because it's a movie and not a show.
See, that one I don't think even it was that one. I think that would have been an issue even if it was still a show. She's so clearly not written into a lot of this that you could tell this was...
They're setting her up to be Moana has become the chief, and now this story is actually going to be about her sister or something.
It was the kind of thing where it's like, the issue we had with like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, where we're making the MacGuffin a person. It felt like that. Like, Moana needed a reason to want to come home. And a little sibling is a very easy reason to want to come home. Anyways, realizing, thanks to her mom, that she can't do this one alone. She she invites some other people on the journey. She invites Lota, the craftswoman of the ships now, the canoes for the island, who is very much focused on the process of destruction and recreation. I love her entire bit, her consistent bit about like perfection and a myth. There's just reiteration and then death.
More or less.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel right now with work.
I feel it every day.
You iterate and then you die.
We got Moni.
If you're lucky, you retire.
Fair. We got Moni, the fanfic writing historian, who's also just very buff. I genuinely love this guy. I love his obsession with Maui, and Maui just being like, just keep this guy away from me. And then we've got the elderly farmer, Kele, who is their supplies. He hates the water. He cannot swim. He does not want to be there, but he is forced to be there.
They could have done something really funny here, although I do appreciate that the majority, if not all of the cast, are Polynesian, and I think that's great for representation of Polynesian actors and voice actors. Andy Serkis in this role could have been pretty funny.
It is that kind of vibe.
Well, no, I meant more so because his character in Andor, and then
I see you're going.
They don't like water.
Yeah, but he does eventually swim. They all swim in this one. They don't get a choice.
This one, yeah. I was like, Andor? No,
this movie, not Andor.
Yeah. Spoilers for Andor season 1 from 2 years ago. Sorry.
That's a very vague spoiler, though.
Yeah, I'm Canadian. I apologize about everything. Come on.
Fair enough. Anyways, this team, along with Pua and Heihei, head off to go find Motu'Fetu. We get a song teaching them to dance and shit. Realistically, that song, the What Could Be Better Than This? That song is like 2 weeks of travel time.
I was thinking more like months, right? Like they're out there a long time.
They are, but they get the shortcut. We also don't see them going back, but Moana also has weird demigod powers at that point, so.
True. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that happened too.
We're gonna get to it. That's the end of the movie.
Do we have to?
Yes.
She got a magic stick.
we'll get to it. Anyways, as they are going, they eventually think they're coming across an island, but it's not an island. It is the Kakamora attacking once again.
You remember the name of the coconut dudes?
I have it
because
up
you're
on my
reading a
notes.
plot summary. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Look, the Kakamora are excellent, and they were one of my favorite things from the first movie, so I was very happy to see them in this one. And for us to learn that they're actually just looking for their home island and trying to get home. Their home island is in the same sea as Motofit 2, which is currently blocked off to everybody. The only way through is through a gargantuan clam. This clam was horrifying. I hated this thing so much. At the same time, when we saw this in like the trailers and stuff, totally thought that this was going to be like an entrance to the spirit world, and we were going to have to deal with all the monsters and stuff of that. And I'm very disappointed that we did not get more of that.
And we might have if it had been a show and not a movie.
I don't think we would have gotten more of that.
We might have.
I mean, spirit stuff, yes. Monster World, no.
Oh, I like Monster World.
But yeah, everything with the Kakamora here is super fun. I like that, like, you can see the growth from Moana in the first movie versus now, right? Like, her just immediately ready for this shit and doing great until everything gets fucked up by the clam.
Yeah.
That said, everything with, like, the weird slime monster, never give us that. Never. Whoever had that idea, that was not a good idea. Anyways, they make a deal with the Kakamora. If they can paralyze the clam, then they will work together and go through. They take some of their poison spears and go in to try to stop it. And are just really fucking bad at it. Like, they just keep dropping the spears. We do have another fantastic bit here. Of they drop the first one, and the engineer girl is like, "This is why I always have a spear, or always have a spare." Then they drop the second one, and she's like, "Well, I always got the third one." Drops that one. Well, having a fourth one would be ridiculous. They fail to do it, but one of the Kakamora, named Kotu, heroically comes and finishes the job, but also disconnecting them from the rest of the Kakamora ship and plummeting them into the clam in order to save the rest of the Kakamora. Moana gets split up from the group and ends up in Matangi's lair, while the rest of the crew end up in the same prison hole as Maui. Moana goes through what looks like it would be an incredible roller coaster.
You know what? I feel like they're going to do... Like, they've announced they're doing a revamp of... I think they're basically doing a full rebranding of Walt Disney World Park in Paris. A Moana water-based coaster would fit in right there. Real easy. I'm just saying.
I mean, we said that, and you know what we got? Moana Way of Water.
Yeah, I'm surprised there honestly hasn't been more Moana pushed into the parks globally. Like, we've gotten... I get that it takes a while to develop some of these concepts, but like...
But at the same time,
a full Moana land seems kind of perfect for like
Moana is in
Disney
like
Sea.
every show possible for at the parks. And like she's in Fantasmic. When they redid Fantasmic, they added Moana to it. Like, she's in everything in that regard. Give her more attractions. I'm very excited about the stuff that is coming. Don't get me wrong. I am a little bit surprised though that we are getting a Coco ride before we're getting a Moana ride.
I'm surprised we're getting Encanto before Moana.
That's not surprising to me.
It is to me, because like Moana's gotten a sequel. It's a $2 billion movie.
Yeah, but Encanto just hit a lightning spark of popularity in a way that hadn't been seen since Frozen.
I would argue since Moana, but yeah.
I think Encanto hit a level above Moana.
We gotta have that conversation at some point.
Popularity-wise. Quality-wise, no.
Fair.
The original Moana is one of my favorite Disney movies. Like, I love that movie.
It's very good.
Anyways, we get the song with Bat Lady. It's awesome. The whole idea, of getting lost, looking at things a new way. There's always something new to learn for a wayfinder. we get this great moment of Moana reconnecting with Maui, and then rather than going and saying hello, just opening the door. And Maui just being absolutely shocked that she was able to open it. They all jump in through the door and enter this like mystic shortcut to Motifit 2. Also, Bat Lady is very much going to be getting in trouble with Nalo for this, for helping them. Also makes a quick comment about Maui being hot, which was funny. Mostly because of...
though?
Well, it was funny to me, mostly because of the bat's expression afterwards.
We were all that bad in that moment.
That bat was very expressive, and I loved it. We also had the great moment, like, when Moana first wakes up, of, like, when she's in the dream and realizes that it's the bat and not her sister. Like, that bat, MVP. As the animals often are in animated Disney movies.
Shout out to that, was it a jaguar or cat or something in Encanto? Tiger, same. And
the one the kid rides?
Cat-like animal. Yeah.
I think it was...
I want to say jaguar.
I think it might have been... Oh, I think you're right. I think it was a jaguar.
I'm going to go find out. You keep talking.
Find out. Anyways, as we keep on rolling.
Googling Encanto cat mount.
I appreciate that you're using the word mount, like that isn't the most video game way you could go about it. As Mitch looks that up, they make it to Motifit 2, except we learn that they're all going to die. Motifit 2 is currently underwater, and Maui needs to lift it out of the water in order for them to land on it and for them to break Nalo's curse. They begin to make their way towards the island, but as they're doing so, Nalo starts to send down lightning bolts and tornadoes in this giant storm to stop them. It does, almost killing Fanfic Boy. They end up on an island where Moana just completely doubts in her leadership abilities. Then we get, can I get a Chihu? I will let you know that the Rock can, in fact, get a Chihu.
So, the animal friends of Antonio Madrigal are Chispy the capybara, Piku the toucan, and again, I'm butchering any of this pronunciation, Parsi? Or Parse? A jaguar. Jaguar was the answer. That's one in the Mitch column.
You had to get one eventually.
Broken clocks right twice a day.
Anyways, everything is distraught, and then the Rock sings, and it's even more distraught. But they continue to try again. They come across like the corpse of the previous Tautai Vasa, and like his old ship. They use parts of that old ship to repair their ship, and begin to try again, working together as a team. And they're still not quite able to do it, but as they're doing it, they realize Nalo is aiming for the people, not aiming for Maui. So they decide to switch things up and essentially play decoy while Maui pulls the island out of the water. They adjust the ship, which this was a very cool moment to me. Of, I think I got a way to do this, but I got to tear down the mast.
Yeah, that was a really fun sequence, especially someone with an engineering background of like, let's just see what happens. It's probably going to work. We won't know until it's in production.
Yeah. Who knows if this could kill us all, but let's give it a shot.
I don't always test my work, but when I do, it's in production.
Man, if my bosses knew how I tested things, they'd be upset.
Unrelated, you know what? No, I'm going to save that one for off the podcast.
I'm mostly joking, for what it's worth.
I'm not.
I'm covering my ass.
I know.
Anyways, they begin to work it. Maui begins to pull the island out from the sea, but in doing so, attracts Nalo's attention, and Nalo hits him with a giant-ass thunderbolt. We get this great moment of Maui continuing to pull and pull and pull as his tattoos begin to disappear and his demigodness leaves him, which was very fun. But in doing
little
this,
depressing, and I can see that being a little traumatizing for kids. To be perfectly honest.
oh, when they straight up murk Maui, yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
or when they proceed to then murk Moana afterwards.
Mostly because they killed Tattoo Maui, and that dude is just fun.
Yeah, they bring him back.
You don't know that in the moment.
Fair enough. No, do you? I mean, he's already lost it all once.
Eh.
Anyways, Maui fails to pull the island out of the water. Moana looks at everything and remembers to, mix up and find another way, and realizes that a human has to touch the island. The island does not have to be above water. And so she dives into the water to try to reach it without drowning. She does get down there and pokes it, but drowns in the process. I feel very uncomfortable right now. I hate this so much. Is this revenge for me calling you old?
Pretty much, yeah. Now I know all I have to do is this to make Griffin uncomfortable.
There's the clip out for this episode.
I really like that the focus to my finger also pulls in the
key thing that made me uncomfortable was the focus change.
Well, not the focus, but it's the key light too. Like,
yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much. Anyways, Moana's dead.
Yeah. Sorry, let's get back to that.
But she's able to touch below, bring the ocean back to being able to do things. I'm going to mute to turn your camera off. She's able to the ocean's able to do things again, and so the ocean does things, tries to bring back some air down there so that she can breathe, but she is already dead at that point. Maui comes back down to see her. At this point, all of the spirits end up showing up, like her grandma, Tautavasa, and a bunch of other ones who were unnamed that we have no idea who they are.
Presumably other ancestors.
Yeah, they all come around, but I do love, like that visual style thing, right? Of they make the whirlpool symbol that we had from the first movie with the stone, as they're entering. It's cute.
They make the Moana logo.
Mm-hmm.
Cross-brand pollination.
Together, though, they bring
other
Moana
marketing
back.
term I don't know. I'll stop. Go.
They bring Moana back to life and turn her to a demigod, giving her a Wayfinder's tattoo. The tattoo looks great. And then her weapon, similar to Maui's hook, is her oar, now much more decorated and also shining. They also bring Maui's hook back, giving him his demigod powers once again. And together, they raise Motufutu. The crew eventually all gets together on there. She blows the conch shell again, and we have the moment with Hey once more before they hear from actual proper ships, and a bunch of people end up on their shores. And we get a bunch of different looking people, and it was very cool to see just how different those people did end up looking. They did a really good job with that, of like, no, we're going to make these peoples look very different, which was fantastic. They all end up returning home. We get a great moment of Moana's little sister trying to bully Maui. It's great. I love that she grabs his ear and immediately is like, yep, you're Moana's sister. They all come back, have a big dinner together, and that's the end of the main movie. We then have a mid-credits scene of Nalo announcing his plan to get revenge and punishing Matangi for helping Moana. And then Tamatoa shows up for some humor. And then that's the proper end to the movie. But yeah, Moana's a demigod now.
Yeah, this was definitely more of like a Moana 1A kind of situation, or 1B. Like, this was the Lion King 1.5 of the Moana universe. Of like, it's not quite a sequel, but it is doing things to set up more in this universe, whether that's movies,
so
whether it's cameos, whether
not
it's a show, whether it's a ride.
but it feels like Back to the Future 2
Yeah, I can see
to
that.
me, where it is the sequel, yes, but you can tell that it's part one to a bigger story, which is part of why I do enjoy this movie. I like part ones. I like seeing the potentials of where this can go, and I do think that this movie does a good job of holding your attention for 100 minutes, giving you a halfway decent time all the way through, and then letting
I am very grateful for the runtime that this didn't stretch into like a 2.5 hour thing, because it very easily could have, with it being an originally 6 to 8 episode miniseries.
Mind you, my original way of seeing this was also in theaters. I did get to see this in theaters in a packed, full theater.
I did not, because it released 4 days after my son was born.
Oh yeah, fair reason.
This was meant to be, because so he showed up 10 days early, which you can tell he's dad's kid because he likes to be early and or on time. Sorry for throwing shade at my wife, but she is going to kill me if she ever sees this.
Make notes.
But,
Send to Carmen.
Yeah, exactly. Clip out, sent to Carmen. Mitch is dead. Need new co-host.
I think we can make a compilation at this point.
Oh, 1,000%. You could end my marriage in an instant if you really wanted to. We had planned for this to be like, all right, we're going to go to the movies. We're going to go to a showing where there aren't going to be a ton of kids. We're either going to go to the VIP, the 19 plus theater, or we're going to find a time that isn't super busy. Just go, the two of us, have a nice, quiet movie night out for the last time before the baby arrives. And then he was 10 days early, so we didn't get to do that. And we were able to get back to theaters for Captain America, and we're hoping to do so next week for Thunderbolts. But at the same time, like, there's a YouTuber that you and I are both fans of by the name of Gregory Miller, which anyone out there, if you know Greg, let him know that we talked about
audience at this pretty much.
We talked about Win or Lose. We were champions of that show, just like you are. So if you do want to come on and chat with us about anything Disney related, we'd be happy to have you. No, Griffin, you clip that out and we put it on the internet, and then maybe he'll reach out.
We can just email him.
We could do that too.
I have his email. We could just email him.
We're not going to do that, but I mean, we might. Just tell him we're champions of Win or Lose, because he was championing that earlier this week on one of their shows. He had a child a few years ago and very drastically shifted from I love the theater experience, love going out, hanging out with my friends, to why is this not available on demand day and date? I would pay $30 to see this at home in my bedroom. And I totally get that sentiment now. Like, I want them to bring back Disney Plus Premier Access, right? Was that the thing?
I forget the name. It was.
I need to know the name.
They did it few enough times that I don't think they ever had a good name for it. But yeah, it was something.
I think it was Premier Access,
which is not a good name.
No, Premier Access is a theme park thing. Disney Plus.
Premier Access.
Black Widow release.
Thinking of the Premier Pass.
Premier. No, it was called Disney Plus Premier Access, which they did for at least the two that I remember were Raya and Black Widow, because I paid for both. Bring that back, please.
They never will.
Like, if I know they'll never do it, but like, if I could, I would pay double what it would cost me to go to the theater. Like, I would give them $60 to watch Thunderbolts on my couch next week, as opposed to having to go to a theater.
The moment that died was the moment that they started putting only in theaters in trailers.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
I don't like that this is where we ended up, but I can also complain the same thing about things like Return to Office and all the other things they've tried to push on us. And we need to revolt, people.
Anyways, fun movie. Not the most amazing thing in the world, but still decent enough to warrant us talking about it today. Thank you very much for listening to us, folks. There are plenty of more episodes to watch if you haven't watched them already, and we got so much more coming in the future. Get your goddamn finger away from the camera. Of course, we will be back next episode with a very special one about Thunderbolts. Hopefully that's the timing of this. I don't freaking know. We will be back in the next episode.
Should be. Might do and/or between that. Watch out for stuff. We're happy to have you come and talk about all the stuff. Comment with us in the stuff, and
plenty of cool stuff.
DM us about the stuff.
Video game episodes soon, maybe, hopefully. I I want to talk about.
We got to do Kingdom Hearts 2 eventually, right?
Oh, yeah, we're forced into that.
Oh no, we have to do Chain of Memories first, right?
We can do them together.
Okay.
Anyways, folks, we will see y'all in the next episode. But until then, be good to each other and have a magical day.
Oh.